when all about you losing theirs and blame it on you. If you could trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for the doubting when all about you losing. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise.
You don't know how you feel. You don't know if it's for real. Just relax and take a chance. It's easy as another dance. Come with me, come with me. Only heaven knows which way to go. This fantasy. Let's get lost on Life Street. The pictures are eyes, it's in the stars, but you gotta take a chance. Let's get lost on Life.
If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
Don't expect this thing to last. Get on in before it passes. Shake your body to and fro. If you don't get in, you'll never know. Come with me, come with me. Only heaven knows which way to go. This fantasy. Let's get lost on Life Street. The pictures are eyes, it's in the stars, but we gotta take a chance. Yeah. Let's get lost on Life. Hey! You got it! Hey!
If you can keep your head when all about you losing theirs and blame it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for the doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise.
You don't know how you feel. You don't know if it's for real. Just relax and take a chance. It's easy as another dance. Come with me, come with me. Only heaven knows which way to go. It's fantasy. And let's get lost on Life Street. The bridges are eyes, it's in the stars, but you gotta take a chance. Let's get lost on Life.
If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
Don't expect this thing to last. Get on in before
Kevin, John Kiriakou.
Character. Select your character.
Everybody shout!
This is me, Craig Ferguson. I'm inviting you to come and see my brand new comedy hour. Well, it's about an hour and a half, and I don't have an opener because these guys cost money. But what I'm saying is I'll be on stage for a while. Anyway, come and see me live on the Pants on Fire tour in your region. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll be adding more as the tour continues throughout 2025 and beyond. For a full list of dates, go to thecraigfergusonshow.com. See you on the road, my dears.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Joy Podcast. My name is Craig Ferguson. I am your host today for the Joy Podcast, which I have to say is a rather exciting one for me today. Now listen, if you've been following this podcast at all, first of all, no refunds and my apologies. And secondly, you'll know that this podcast started, it's called Joy, and it started as me talking to people about what brings them joy in their life. And I found that quite interesting, and I still do find it quite interesting, and I like to do it. But as the podcast went on, and I only started it like a couple of years ago, I found it more and more difficult to schedule guests into the podcast and make sure that I could, have a conversation with them. So then I started doing it on the Zoom, because I was, in lots of different places. I was in London. Well, you know where different places are. I was in London and New York and Los Angeles and Arizona and Mexico, and I wasn't in Mexico, but I could be. Anyway, look, the thing is, it was too difficult for me to schedule one-on-one conversations with people in the way that I like to do it. So then I started doing them on the Zoom. And whilst it's okay on the Zoom, I feel like, here's what I feel, and this is me blowing my own trumpet a little bit, but I feel like if I do a Zoom podcast sort of interview, I'm as good as anyone else. But I feel like if I do an in-person interview, I'm a little better than most. And I feel like that's what I've decided to do. Unless I can do it in person, I won't do it on the Zoom. And what I have enjoyed doing is doing this podcast where I just do your tweets and emails. You send me in the tweets and emails like we used to do on the late night show. You send me in a question and I answer your question. I believe it's called an Ask Me Anything on the Reddits, or the Face Tubes, or what is it? They call it U-Time? I don't know, but whatever it is. Reddit.
Select your character.
It's like Ask Me Anything, but you can ask me anything here on this podcast, and that brings me joy. You see, so it still fits in under the umbrella of joy. So I will still continue to do interviews when I can schedule people and be in the same town. And I'm going to be in Los Angeles quite soon, so I think I'll be able to do a couple there because I have some people there that I like and I want to talk to. And then I'm in New York quite a lot, and it's possible to do it there, and I'll do it anywhere I am. But here's the upshot of what happened today. So I'm doing it with you guys today because I'm at home for the first time in ages. I've been away traveling and now I'm at home. And because I'm at home and I moved house, I don't know if you guys have been following me on the internet, but or just following me, just follow me down the street. But I moved house about a year and 18 months ago, and any of you who have moved house before know, especially if you're a bit older like me, get grey hair. If you're a bit older like me, you've accumulated a lot of stuff, and it takes a lot of time to unpack all that stuff. And I've been unpacking and unpacking, so I've been home. This is the exciting part. I've been home for a little bit the last few days, and I unpacked a few more boxes. And one of the boxes I unpacked was very exciting for me because I've been looking for this for a while, and people still talk about it. And you guess what it is? And it's not that. It's this guy. Yeah, look at that. Now, this is not the actual cup that I used to use on late night because I don't know where that is. I think that must be the other box. This is the backup traveling cup because the other cup had someone drew up.
Nobody wins.
Been away traveling and now I'm at home. And because I'm at home and I moved house, I don't know if you guys have been following me on the internet, but or just following me, just follow me down the street. But I moved house about a year and 18 months ago, and any of you who have moved house before know, especially if you're a bit older like me, get grey hair. If you're a bit older like me, you've accumulated a lot of stuff, and it takes a lot of time to unpack all that stuff. And I've been unpacking and unpacking, so I've been home. This is the exciting part. I've been home for a little bit the last few days, and I unpacked a few more boxes. And one of the boxes I unpacked was very exciting for me because I've been looking for this for a while, and people still talk about it. And you guess what it is? And it's not that. It's this guy. Yeah, look at that. Now, this is not the actual cup that I used to use on late night because I don't know where that is. I think that must be the other box. This is the backup traveling cup because the other cup had someone drew up cock and balls underneath it, and I don't know who it was. I really don't know who it was. I don't think it was me, but it may have been. Anyway, someone drew a rude thing underneath it. We had to censor it, and the one that I used to use late night had a broken fang, and then it had a gold cap put in. So that's somewhere in all the boxes. So I'm still working through boxes. I have storage units.
Time to
but
spice things up. Select a new
I feel like we're getting into the more authentically me. I feel like I'm more myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm more in my vein of what I do when I've got this guy. Like, you know, it's like, hey everybody. So what do you think, Jeff? He's not here. Actually, he is here. He is here. You probably should tell everyone this. He is here. He's in my garage. And he's turned up But someday in the future, not soon, because I got a lot of stuff to do, but one day in the future we'll turn them on and we'll get them going. Fire up the old Jeffrey Peterson. I've still got the old Secretariat. I've got 2 Secretariats actually. The Pantomime Horse, not a real horse, a bit of a spoiler. The Pantomime Horse Secretariat, there was 2 of them. And I've got both of them here as well. You want to know another thing? There were 2 Jeff Petersons. The travelling Jeff Peterson and the studio Jeff Peterson. People are shocked when they hear that. But if you look at the old late night shows when we did when we were in Paris or we were in Scotland, if you check out Jeff Peterson carefully in these old shows, you'll find out it's the travelling Jeff Peterson. You know why? Different voltages. Plus, you don't want to travel with a robot skeleton. We'll get stopped at the airport. TSA go crazy. Well, alright, so this is the Enjoyment Dates and Purposes, my friend. One of the Joy podcasts. When I said friend, I meant you personally. My friends, this is one of the Joy podcasts where we do the tweets and emails, and you've been sending them in, which I'm delighted by. So let me start with this one. This is from Laurie B. I'm looking down here because this is where my computer is. It's not like Laurie B is not down there. If Laurie, I'm like, hello Laurie, I have a question. Yes, Laurie, ask it. Right here it is. Do you drive? You know this on this computer. Do you drive in both America and Scotland? If so, how do you possibly do it? I'm going to be travelling to Scotland and I can't imagine driving on the left side of the road. Well, let me tell you this. It's very simple. Because I do drive in both America and Scotland. And what you do is this, when you get to the country you're going, and I presume you have a rental car, I would assume you would get a rental car, you keep the steering wheel to the centre of the road, right? So where the line is, that's the news for the show. If the steering wheel is near the centre of the road, then you're driving on the right side. Also, a good tip is to look where the other cars are driving. If, for example, they're driving down one side, those guys, because they probably live there. And I would do that.
Starting a business comes with a lot of what ifs.
What if I open a barber, but there's a world shortage of clippers? What if people start getting perms instead of fades? What if people stop cutting their hair forever?
Instead of worrying about what ifs, set your business up right with ANZ and start to wonder, what's the best that could happen?
Who's next? Sorry for the wait. We are flat out.
Start your business right. Search ANZ Business Start Right.
Get the 4x4 you really want with the feature-packed Ford Ranger Black Edition. Model year 26.5 from an amazing 53k drive away at participating dealers. See Ford.com.au for details.
Now, I will say one thing to you about driving in Scotland. This is very important. When you're driving, particularly in the north of Scotland, look out for sheep. Because they often drive on the wrong side of the road. They don't. Also, the sheep don't drive in Scotland. They are driven. They're VIPs. They usually sit in the back of the limousine, enjoying the ride. Enjoying the ride, man. But sheep are a lot of times when you're driving up in the north of Scotland, the sheep will just wander onto the road. Just wander on there. You gotta look out for them, because if you accidentally kill a sheep in Scotland with 20 years in prison, then that's not true. But if it is, that would be bad. But it's not. But if it is, which it isn't, but if it was true, which it will be, because people always say there's no smoke without fire. Do you know, that's an interesting thing. I noticed that about the internet, or FaceTime, or FaceTune. If rumors start on the internet, people say, even if they know it's crap, they'll say there's no smoke without fire. And I'm like, well, there is actually smoke without fire. In fact, anyone who has worked in show business for more than maybe 10 minutes knows that it's mostly smoke and no fire. The analogy that's used, or the description that's used of show business is all smoke and mirrors. So it's not there's no smoke without fire, there's no smoke without mirrors, is what you should probably say. And smoke and mirrors, they say that because that's how they used to get these old effects in the old Hollywood music, not Hollywood, the old vaudeville music halls, and the old magicians, the Houdinis and stuff, they would smoke and mirrors and they would create illusions. And I think that for me, the idea of there's no smoke without fire is yet another misdirect by the Illuminati on the internet that are trying to make you believe things that are not true. Oh my god, I've got internet crazy. Oh god, hang on, let me calm down a bit. Snake water. The greatest water of all. Why snake water? What do you think, Jack? I missed that, man. But you know what? Good later on. Waiting for a time when this country needs a lighting up. Anyway, I hope that answers your question about which side of the street do you drive on in Scotland. It's the side that the sheep are not on and the people are driving on. This is from Katrina. This is a computer, not actually Katrina, from Boca Raton, Florida, because of course Boca Raton is not right here. If I was in Boca Raton, it'd be sunnier and there'd be lots of old people wearing Tommy Bahama shirts, and I'd be one of them. Katrina from Boca Raton Plus says, Craig, do you have a special item that you travel with that makes life on the road more enjoyable, such as bespoke velvet pajamas or an Opera Viking hat? That's a very good question. I wouldn't travel without an Opera Viking hat because I'm a hand luggage queen. I like to only have hand luggage. I'm one of these people that I'll cram everything into such a small space that if I have to unzip my hand luggage, bang! I haven't quite got to the vacuum packing my clothes yet, but I would do that. I like that, when people when they suck all their clothes right down to little tiny amounts, and that's something in the future for me. Anyway, what I think is that I travel with. What do I travel with? Well, I usually tend to be a bit OCD. I like to wear lucky underpants, and they're usually blue. I don't know where I picked that up actually, but I do like to wear lucky blue underpants when I'm traveling to avoid trouble. The truth is, I don't know that kind of thing works, but snake water, America's first black shark. So no, I don't really travel with anything per se. I travel with Tomas, who is my tour manager, and he's a 6'5" chirp, gentleman. He's quite lucky to travel with him. I think there's plenty of people that are like, I'd like to travel with him. I think you know what I'm saying. But that's not the relationship that Tomas and I have. Anyway, alright, this is from Kathy Roser from Salina, Kansas. Or Salina, Kansas. I think it's Salina, I can't remember. Again, Salina, Kansas is not down there. This is just a computer that I've received an email from Kathy Roser in Salina or Salina, Kansas. Insert the correct name of the word here, Kansas. You see, I know I've cut my hand there. I was moving a box. That was moving the box that this was in, actually. If you could go back in time and see any concert or festival, who would you see? Back in time and see any concert or festival. I think what I'd like to do, my initial answer would be maybe go and see the Damned playing in London in 1976. Would it be 76 or 77? I don't know. But then I think to myself, well, I would have liked that then, because I'd be like, Paul Rock, Smitty, all that kind of stuff, and I would be young and like all that noise and spitting. But now I'm in my 60s. And I like things quiet with a lot less spitting. I'm actually moving from my spitting years into my drooling years. So it's all, saliva based really, but what I'm saying is no spitting concerts, more grueling concerts. So I think if I was going to go back in time now, like at the age I am, going back in time, but remaining the age I am then, I'd like to go back in time and see somebody like Bobby Darin or Sinatra, something like that. You know what I mean? But in their prime, you know, where everyone was sitting down, but then everyone would be smoking. Let me tell you something, by the way. I stopped drinking nearly 34 years ago, and I stopped smoking when I was about 5 years sober. So 29 years, I guess, almost 29 years since I smoked cigarettes. And I will be honest with you, if they didn't give you cancer, which sadly they do, but if they didn't, I would smoke cigarettes. I loved them and I enjoyed them. The drinking, it really messed up my life. But smoking, I kind of liked it. Apart from this, it's gonna kill me. And I look forward to people on the internet telling me that smoking isn't bad for you, because I'm sure that's a thing now as well. That, oh no, smoking's not bad for you, it's actually good for you if you smoke the right way. By the way, the vape thing, don't even get me started on that. You did. You asked me what. You asked me if I went back in time, which concert would I go to, and I think I would like to go to something, or maybe even further back, maybe like Rimsky-Korsakov's premiere of the Scheherazade, or something like that. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's not possible to go back in time, apparently. I know this is the internet and everything is possible, but I don't think it is possible to go back in time. I think time travel, you can go forward. I think that's the current thought in physics, that you can go forward in time by, you know, folding or through the wormhole or going to another planet or something, or I don't know. I watched, what was that? That movie where Matthew McConaughey went. It was a long movie as well. I felt like I was traveling in time in that movie when he was. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the need of it. It was a good movie. It was long. It was long. It was a long movie. This is from Margot Lane, or from Margot, who lives in Lane. I don't know, or lives in that Lane. Margot Lane from Elk, California, or maybe it's from an elk who's trying to remain anonymous. Because if you're an elk and you can type and do emails, you probably want to keep that quiet, or sooner or later they'll be having you on TV. And speaking from experience, that's not always right. Margot Lane from Elk, California said, "What is your favorite Stranglers song and why?" I don't know. The Stranglers, if you're not familiar with the Stranglers, you can Google them. They were a very popular band during the punk rock. I think they're still around. I remember them at the time. They had a drummer, and Hugh Cornwell was their singer, and the drummer was a gentleman by the name of Jet Black. I don't know if that was his real name. I suspect not. But his name was Jet Black, and everyone had punk names back in the day. You know, Dave Spit, Tommy Poo, all that kind of stuff. I don't think there was a Tommy Poo. I wish I'd called myself Tommy Poo. You know what? From now on, guys, because I know you will. Don't. Now that I've said don't call me Tommy Poo, you'll call me Tommy Poo even more. So look, call me Tommy Poo if you like, but that's not my name. Anyway, Jet Black was the drummer with the Stranglers. And I remember we were all, and their bass player was a French guy called Jean-Jacques Brunel. And he was the one that everybody thought was cool because he's French and he played the bass like this. If you do that thing with the bass, I believe they call it the walking bass. I call it the finger surprise bass, but you probably shouldn't call it that. So it's the walking bass. I think that's, or maybe that's the walking bass. Anyway, Jean-Jacques Brunel, or Brunel, or I think maybe that was Isambard Kingdom Brunel, who was an engineer in Victorian Britain, who was very clever, but nothing to do with Stranglers. Anyway, the Stranglers had a drummer called Jet Black, and Jet Black was older. Yeah, I remember him being older. We all thought, he's really old. because I remember he was 46. And you were like, 46? How does a person get to be 46? 60? You know. Anyway. Snake water. America's first pointer. Anyway, Jet Black was the drummer of the Stranglers, and we thought he was really old. But my favourite Stranglers song, I think at the time it was Heroes, but not the David Bowie Heroes. It was another one. No More Heroes, it might have been called. I think it was that. I saw the Stranglers once at Glasgow Apollo, which was a big theatre in Glasgow, and I went to see the Stranglers one night, and they sort of invited the audience. It was a big thing then to like stage invasion-y type thing. So the audience kind of stage invaded at the Stranglers concert. And then they had to make an announcement because some of the audience, not all of the audience obviously, but some of the audience that had invaded the stage stole all the microphones. Which wasn't really in the spirit of the evening, and certainly affected the performance. Anyway, favourite Stranglers song? No More Heroes, I think. I don't know, I haven't listened to them in years. They haven't stayed with me as a band. Maybe I should. That's one of the great things about the internet is not only is everything true, but you can look up old music that you haven't listened to in years and listen to it. So I might look up the Stranglers. Anyway, this is from Joanne in Richmond, Virginia. It's a very simple question from Joanne. Joanne isn't here, but if you're just joining me, Joanne isn't here. It's not like Joanne is here, it's just a computer with stuff on it. Joanne said, how do you take your coffee? Cream, sugar, black? Black! Take the coffee black. I have to limit myself with coffee as well now. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and that's usually it, unless I have a show. Then I have a cup of coffee before the show, because I feel coffee kind of keeps me going. But my real love, my beverage of choice these days, snake water. America's thirst quencher. When you worked hard and driven your truck